Maybe I'll read to you when I finally moved the ship over the mountain. Camisea, 4th of November 1981. We had chosen, it's one of the few moments where the book actually describes filming. It's not a book on reporting on the shooting of a film. It's much more other things like inner landscapes or fever dreams and things like this. But here I read a passage of real events while we were shooting. We had chosen 2 camera positions, Mauch with a handheld on the chatter. Chatter is a barge, whose floor was as slick as soft soap from oil and mud. So much so that he could find a firm base only by sitting on an aluminum suitcase. Klausmann, the other cinematographer, very close to the ship, squeezed into a corner of a little spit of land from which, however, the only escape route was straight into the water. But his position remained risky because once the ship really started to move, it could conceivably tear down the earth berm and plow him under. We conferred about this for a long time. Raimund, the lighting technician, and several Kampas posted themselves above his perch, ready to pull him up and out of the danger zone. For myself, I tried to find a somewhat higher lookout from which I could see both cameras as well as the position of the bulldozer. I had visual contact with both Walter and Tercero. In case something unforeseen happened, I could warn the cameramen below me in time. In fact, the ship did initially veer toward the earthen berm by the camera, and I saw Raimund leap to the other side of the camera to get it out of the way, moving it toward the water, while the Kampas held themselves in readiness to rescue Klausmann. But Tercero managed to get the ship swung back in the other direction. It was actually sliding the last something 50, 60 feet down into the water of the river. But Tercero managed to get the ship swung back in the other direction. Once half the ship was in the water, it keeled over so breathtakingly to the side against the current that it seemed inevitable that the boat would capsize and sink. Tossing and turning in a confused, chaotic fever dream, the ship heaved from one side to the other. I lost sight of the caterpillar, which had bravely jammed itself under the tipping boat, so I ran around the ship out of range of the camera. As I did so, my bare feet came down on the razor-sharp shards of a broken beer bottle which the Indians had left lying in the mud after their nocturnal fiesta. I noticed that I was bleeding profusely and that there were lots of other shards lying around. Rushing on, I was paying more attention to the broken glass than to the ship, which I assumed was a goner. By the time I had reached the other side of the ship, the caterpillar had already stuck its blade with brute strength under the ship's hull, with the result that the railing, which was almost scraping the ground, was crushed with a terrible crunching sound, but the ship, by now almost entirely in the water, righted itself. I did not feel my bleeding foot. The ship meant nothing to me. It held no more value than some broken old beer bottle in the mud, than any steel cable whipping around itself on the ground. There was no pain, no joy, no excitement, no relief, no happiness, no sound, not even a deep breath. All I grasped was a profound uselessness, or, to be more precise, I had merely penetrated deeper into its mysterious realm. I saw the ship return to its element, right itself with a weary sigh. Today, on Wednesday, the 4th of November 1981, shortly after 12 noon, we got the ship from the Rio Camisea over a mountain into the Rio Urubamba. All that is to be reported is this: I took part.